For Amendment 66, I'm still pretty much on the fence on Amendment 66. I'm curious and very eager to hear what the forum afterwards says and whatnot. But I see a lot of things that are very nice, very positive things that could be positive for Amendment 66, with additional funding and that kind of stuff to schools. But there's also a handful of things that make me just question and not quite exactly sure if it's the right thing or the best thing. Things like some of the school districts not getting an increase in funding, but actually getting a decrease in funding, or and that's just something that I'm not quite sure yet. I want to learn more, understand more about that before I make a decision.
All right, Christy.
I have to say I too am on the fence. The last several weeks I have been researching it. I actually pulled down the Senate bill because I really wanted to fully understand what was going into that. I'm still looking at both the pros and the cons. I mean, obviously right now this school district would see an increase in funding. But I'm not sure if that's good for everybody, for all the kids in the state of Colorado. So I will continue to research it, and I'll see what I decide when I cast my ballot.
Thank you. Wendy.
I am not for Amendment 66. I have done research on it as well. The Senate Bill 13213, which this amendment funds, basically takes 43% of all income taxes, property taxes, excise taxes, and dumps it into an educational general fund. The legislature from there would have decisions on how that money was spent in each school district. It also changes how the percentage of the money for your taxes is decided. For English, it transfers it to English language learners and high-risk students. Those districts will get the highest amount of funding. Currently, our Bayfield district gets $6,800 per student approximately. With this amendment, it would jump $258 per student for $7,100. For the amount of taxes that it's going to go up for the taxpayer, I don't think it is the best bang for your buck.
Okay, thank you. Carol.
I too am not decided. I have not decided on it. Number one, Colorado traditionally underfunds education and has for years. We're down at the bottom, people. And I don't think that this is giving us enough in order to fund our schools properly. So that's one of my thoughts. Plus the fact that not every school district is going to be getting more money, and not necessarily a significant amount. And really the choice comes down to, should we vote this in to get some more right now, or are we going to go for a third try on funding education in Colorado better and turn it down and then have something new come out in a couple of years. So that's kind of where I am.
Thank you. Judy.
I am most definitely against Amendment 66, and I was very proud to know that the Bayfield School Board, the current Bayfield School Board, voted against supporting Amendment 66 when the Colorado Association of School Boards had a resolution, and the Bayfield School Board here currently voted against it, or voted to not support the resolution from CASB. The reasons I'm against Amendment 66 is because it limits the local school board's decision making. It will give 60% to the legislatures, or the Colorado legislature, to make the decisions, rather than for the local school boards to be making those decisions. And that's just not a good thing, because that means that we will no longer have decision-making power over what happens in Bayfield, because it will happen at the state legislature instead. Denver will get the lion's share, as Wendy, I think, or somebody else pointed out, that it's based on a formula for ELL learners and at-risk students, which we don't have as many of as Denver. Denver and Aurora have the lion's share of that. The funding decisions will be made by the state. More money does not include better education, and it's not fair to the kids or to the school districts, because it basically pits the poor students against the rich students.
Thank you, Judy. We're going to go to Justin.
Okay. I just wanted to start out by asking, is our government even open? Like, we're gonna get money from something that's not even open? I'm definitely against Amendment 66. And it's for reasons that have already been stated, but as well, I'm more interested in more local control. I'm not interested in the higher-ups telling us how to spend it, where to spend it, and how to educate our kids. I'm just not interested in that, so I'm definitely against Amendment 66.
Thank you, Danielle.
Okay. I have concerns with Amendment 66. I too feel that our money, our tax-paying money, should stay here in our community, and I would really like to be able to have, as a community, with the school board, have control over where that money is going. And the formula that I've done research with, I heard Ms. Cox, I think, say that it just raises it a little bit more per pupil. And our school district is a small school district, and it costs more, I believe, from the research that I've done, to run a smaller school district. So when it all evens out, we're basically just going to be the same, and I don't feel that we're going to get a boost from it.
All right.